Example 6, it says salary study. The regression line that we got from example 1 was this equation here. Use this equation to predict the expected salary for a manager with 6.5 years of service and state whether this prediction is reasonable. Okay, so how could we do that? Well, using our equation, first you could just plug 6.5 in right there for X. But what I'm going to do here is just show you, I'll just get a new equation line here, how you could type in this value. And I believe, let me check this before I speak too soon. If we say Y1, because that says Y1 there, and you plug in 6.5, let's see if that, nope, that does not work. Okay, so that does not work. What I could do is use this M though right there and say M times the 6.5 plus B, that's what they have here, B, would give me my exact value, that 6.5 years of service could expect a salary of $74,616, $74,616, I should say, and 69 cents. Okay, so now it says, state whether this prediction is reasonable. Now, how can we figure out if it's reasonable? Well, if I plot it on there, we ought to be able to tell real quick if it's reasonable. So let's put on 6.5 and 7416.69. And so I'm going to look for that value at 6.5. So here's 6. So I'm going off this 5, 6, that's 7. So we're going to look for the one value that's in between these two gray lines. And you can see this is very reasonable. That is a very reasonable prediction. Very reasonable prediction. And if you were like, is there another way of evaluating that? Yeah, if you go to the residual plot here at 6.5, it's this value. You can see how close it is to the line. It's only $935 off of the exact the line that we had earlier. So I would say it's a very reasonable prediction. Okay, in part B, so it says use this same data. I'm going to go ahead and delete the 6.5 so it doesn't mess with my numbers here. Okay. We now want to know what's the expected salary for a manager working 40 years of experience. So if I looked at 40 years of experience, so I'm going to put that in there. So M, I already got the slope, 40 years of experience. Should generate a salary of, it says $160,496 and 73 cents. Now that's a great salary. I would love to make that salary. I don't, but it would be fantastic if I did. I'm going to try this. Let me come back here and zoom in this data properly. So if I wanted to say, well, does that seem like it's increasing at the right amount? Well, here is 40 and 160, 496.73. If you check that value out compared to the residual, you'll see that that is right along on the prediction. That's, I would say it's very reasonable. People do make that amount of money. If they've been working as a manager for that long, people do make that money. So again, I'm going to say that's a very reasonable prediction. It doesn't seem like it's too far off of where the data is heading. So it seems very reasonable again. Now, someone might say, what is something that's unreasonable? Well, let's say it was a negative relationship and you put in 40 and it ended up with a negative salary. That would be unreasonable. So here, I would say it's very reasonable as well, just because it's going in the right manner. Okay, use your same data and come up with whether or not you think the data from example 3, that is, if it's reasonable or not, and what your value would be, what your result would be. Pause the video if you need more time.